Hello everybody, my name is Sarah and welcome to Carfunkle, my mythology channel. I'm a funky little carbuncle, thus the name. You're watching part 2 of the Greek deities and monsters Iceberg explained video. You can go ahead and see the first video, but I would recommend sitting through and watching this one all the way. It's not super important which order you watch these in, since it's just meant to be an informational video to give you all the details. So I would really appreciate it if you sat through and watched the whole video first and then waited for the end card to show up and click the first video there. But without, wasting much more of your time, let's get on with the video. Make sure to, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, because there's going to be a lot more videos like this. We got 300 gods to cover. Part 2. You definitely heard of these ones. Apollo, the god of archery, music, dance, truth, prophecy, healing, disease, the sun, light, poetry, and so much more. He's definitely a favorite, not among just humans, but Olympians as well. Apollo is the son of Zeus and Leto, and is also the twin of his sister Artemis, the virgin goddess of the hunt. But Apollo is probably most known for being the dude who brings the sun up every day with his powerful flaming chariot. You also know him from memes too. Apollo is the god of prophecy and appears in this meme. Apollo's gift of prophecy is in fact so strong that while he was still in his mother's womb, he predicted the death of Python, the chthonic serpent. Not only did he predict her death, but he was the one who dealt it, while still only a child. What happened is that Python, at Hera's behest, was tasked to hunt Leto while still pregnant with Apollo and Artemis. Remember I said she spends her time hunting Zeus's kids? Well, to avenge the attempt on him and his mother's life, Apollo sought out Python and killed it in their cave with a special bow and arrow made by Hephaestus, the blacksmith god. Here's a quote from Euripides. "You killed him, O Phobos, while still a baby, still leaping in the arms of your mother, and you entered that shrine. You sat on the golden tripod on your throne, distributing prophecies from the gods to mortals." So, of course, Apollo is a bit of a badass. He did slay a godlike serpent before he could even count. But also, shout out to Hephaestus, who was just irresponsible enough to give a baby what was, for the time, a loaded gun. Aphrodite, the goddess of love, lust, passion, beauty, pleasure, boning, and making babies. Aphrodite is obviously one of the most known goddesses, and you've no doubt seen the painting of Venus on the clamshell. Venus is the Roman rename of her, so that's Aphrodite with her business all out there. I'm censoring it because I don't trust YouTube to know the difference between art and NSFW content. But for some stories. We have a couple for Aphrodite. The first is that she was born from Uranus's balls, but not in the normal way. Cronus cut off Uranus's schnutz and threw them into the ocean. His giblets frothed and bubbled, and from it came Aphrodite, which her name translated even means foam arisen. This myth isn't entirely originated from Greek storytellers, as it has a lot in common with Sumerian mythology about how Anu and his schnutz were bitten off. The god who bit them off, Kumarbi, ate them, became pregnant, and gave birth to Anu's children, Ishtar and Teshub. Not super important, but a lot of mythology and even Bible stories like Noah's Ark come from Sumerian mythology. The other myth I'll keep short. After her discovery, the gods fight over who should be allowed to marry her. Poseidon thinks he should because she came from the sea, and he owns everything that comes from the sea. But after many potential suitors come forward, Aphrodite instead chooses the god who didn't come forward, the one who didn't shower her with gifts and praise, and that was Hephaestus. Hephaestus was known for being ugly as sin, but a hard worker, but still unkempt. But that didn't really bother Aphrodite. She just wanted a hard-working, honest man who was insecure because of his looks, so that she could sleep around with other guys while he worked. It might sound like I'm joking, but I'm not. Ares. Most of the gods in Greek mythology have a lot of domains and many of them overlap, but Ares keeps it simple. He's the god of war and courage. Other than that, Ares has a very small role in Greek mythology, but does have some interesting rituals. Ares is the patron deity of the city of Sparta, and the Spartans would bind their statues, specifically Ares, in chains. That's because in Greek myth, communing with a statue is like speaking directly to a god. So any action taken on a statue of a god or their temple is like taking direct action on the god themselves. So while you couldn't kill a god, you could deface their temples and weaken their influence. So Spartans chained their statues of Ares to bind the spirit of war and victory to their city. This was because an oracle, essentially a prophet, told them to do so, as it would keep Ares a calm and peaceful deity. It was also common to sacrifice the occasional war prisoner and animals to Ares in hopes of ending the war. Probably not the smartest idea, as other cities and countries really don't like it when you slay their countrymen. Sometimes the sacrifices were a reward for a good war. Ares can have an ox as a treat. Hermes, the god of boundaries, roads, adventurers, thieves, athletes, shepherds, commerce, speed, cunning, wit, and he was also the messenger of the gods. Hermes has a little tool he is often depicted with, and you might recognize it. It's the caduceus. The caduceus is a winged staff with two snakes coiling around it, shaped kind of like DNA. In America, this symbol is often confused with the rod of Asclepius, a tool used by Apollo's son, Asclepius. So, the caduceus in America is often used as a medical symbol, mistakenly, because Hermes has little to do with medicine. You might recognize Hermes from his appearance in Homer's Iliad, the Odyssey, where he is the great-grandfather of the protagonist Odysseus. In the Odyssey, he helps his grandkid with advice like to avoid being turned into an animal by Circe, he should chew a magic herb. Hermes also told Calypso to free Odysseus, and when Odysseus went on a killing spree, Hermes led the souls of Odysseus' wife's suitors to Hades. Hermes plays a supporting role in a lot of myths, like in the creation of Pandora's box, he contributed lies, seduction, and tricks. That's it for this one. The endings are going to be a little abrupt since these are all going to be mushed together, but I hope you enjoyed it and still learned something, and if you didn't, I'd appreciate it if you still clicked like and consider subscribing for more Greek mythology videos, and there will be plenty. We have 300 to go over. Also, commenting a gem emoji would be super cool. Comments help with the algorithm, and with an emoji, you can comment without having to think too hard on what you want to comment. This channel is brand new, and I need all the help I can get with the algorithm, so sharing is cool too, and mythology is such an interesting and fun subject. I'm sure you have at least one friend who would like my videos. But for now, I'll see you all later. Stay funky.